Hey, welcome to today's podcast. I am your host, Spencer, Coach Spencer. And today I have one that is maybe a little bit more advanced because it requires that you have lost weight before, or maybe you are losing weight. And so people that have never successfully lost a chunk of weight maybe can't relate to this one. If you have, then I really want you to listen closely.
This is the Game of Food. We're helping real people get real results with delicious food. Real food. Live from Spencer's home studio, podcasting to the world. This is Game of Food. And here's your host, Spencer Frederick.
You know, sometimes some of these podcasts are about like a tiny little detail. I want everybody to hear my podcast. I think it's helpful, but sometimes they're big hitters. And I just kind of react to what's going on in my life with my own health and fitness, the clients or people that reach out to me that aren't even my clients. And this one, if I could title it, who knows what it's going to be, Getting Complacent. And I'm just going to kind of map out what I see from, I've seen in myself and my clients. And so let's take some random numbers as an example. So let's say you weigh 230 pounds. Now I want you to plug in your own numbers as I tell this story. So let's say you weigh 230 pounds and that is the most you have weighed. That is the biggest number the scale has ever shown you. And you never thought you would weigh that number. And of course, other factors like, your shirts are tight in certain areas. You've had to buy bigger jeans. Maybe your confidence is low. Maybe even your doctor is starting to say, hey, you need to lose weight. Or maybe your doctor just said, I've noticed some weight gain, whatever it is. Now, what that is, that's painful, not necessarily physical pain. It is painful because, one, the doctor said you need to do something about this. Two, that number on the scale is not what you wanted to see. Your clothes are bigger than ever. All of that is like emotional pain, something that bothers you. And so then that can kind of push you to sign up for like a program. Like let's say you sign up with me and I coach you. And so what I have seen from a percentage of people, even myself, is I'll ask them like, okay, what are we doing here? You signed up. What is your goal? You're 230 now. What do you want to be? I want to get back to when I was 180. I want to get all the way back there. And so that's 50 pounds. What happens then is I get this phenomenal client. I get somebody that just accepts everything into their life, as in new habits, and they do really well. And they get to 205, let's say. And so they're getting real close, or they're about halfway to their goal, and they're getting close to getting under 200. They're 205. They lost 25 pounds, and then it plateaus. Or it even starts to like trickle up for like a week or two, and then come back down to 205 for a week or two, and you get a client that's in or out, or the habits start to slip. And they might never get to that 180. Now, keep in mind, that was their long-term goal. So why are they a different client? Because that's what I notice is they're like this great client that's doing everything, and then they're like this kind of half-ass client a little bit. And that sounds mean because they're not bad people, but they are. Some of the habits are kind of half-ass now. And so what happens? And this is a discussion I had recently, and I think I have a few clients that could relate. And I think a lot of people can relate. That's why I'm making this is they got down to that 205. And that was a number that they hadn't seen on the scale in a while. They'll even send me that message like, this is the first time I've seen 205 in 11 years. And I'm like, whoa, that's a long time. That's a huge win. And then what happens is you removed yourself from that pain. The pain of being 230. And now you're happy with yourself. You hit a low that you haven't hit in 11 years or however many years. Again, plug in your own numbers. Now you're having to buy smaller clothing. Now your friends and family are like, what are you doing? You look great. And you're getting these compliments and you're feeling better. You're getting around better. Your energy is better. Just this flood of positivity creates complacency. They get complacent. They get comfortable. They're not at their goal, but now they're feeling too good. And they're not following through with some of their other habits. They're getting complacent. And they only start doing half of it. And then some of the old habits actually start to creep in just a little bit. They're giving in to more cravings and having more days that are off track and skipping a workout here or there. And that is the beginning of either not getting any more results, or I've met people that are really bad at the yo-yo thing, like lose 80 plus pounds, gain 80 plus pounds, and then they just do that every 2 years. And so that's the beginning of the regain too, because these little bad habits start coming back in and they don't create rapid weight loss. And it's kind of like positive feedback. Like, hey, I ate pizza yesterday and I didn't gain weight. Okay, let's do that again and again. Oh, I only gained 1 pound per week, and then you just add time to it and they gain all the weight back. And it's that positivity. It's they feel good about it and they kind of are like, cool, I'm here, I feel good, maybe I should be done. And what I would like to tell you, if that's you or if you've ever been there, is did you really come this far just to come this far? You know, you set that goal of 50, you really wanted to change your life and get back to the real you. You wanted to get back to the real you, and then you got to 25 pounds and you got complacent. You got too comfortable and you lost sight. You lost sight of that longer term goal. And you know, if it is like 20 whatever pounds, we all know that's easy to gain back. That's why you go for that longer term goal. In this case, if you get back to that 180 and gain 18 of it back, well, you're still under 200. That's why you go for that long term goal. So did you come this far just to come this far? Are you just going to continue to do that? Because what I find is people have this weight that they're comfortable with, and they have a mental block around this weight. In this case, it's 205. And what happens is this person continues to lose that 25 pounds and gain it all back, and always returns to 205 because that's where they get kind of comfortable. And it is literally like, I am doing good, job well done. And I know a lot of you have that number. A lot of you. Why? Because when I hop on the phone call, I hop on the phone call almost every day except for Sundays with people that are interested in signing up. And I would say 80% of them, over 12 years I've been involved with health and fitness, if you include my college years. 80% of them say, I do really well, but I can never get over the hump of this weight. It's because you get too comfortable when you get there. There's something in your head that says, I'm done. Or you get this rush of a pile of positivity. You get a pile of positivity and it keeps you from pushing ahead. And so you might be asking yourself, well, Spencer, you're not saying how to get over it. Well, I can give you some tips and tricks. 1, you need to remind yourself of your long-term vision. 2, you need to look at this in a realistic mindset. If you lose 22 pounds, I'm sorry, that's easy to gain back. I have seen people gain back 20-some pounds in a matter of a couple of weeks. I've seen people put on 9 pounds in a weekend. I'm sorry, it's just easy to gain back, especially if you go from low calorie and then straight back to your comfort foods, high calorie, and sitting too much and skipping your workouts. Yeah, you're going to create some rapid weight gain. So you got to think of it realistically. Like, okay, I only lost 20, whatever. That's easy to gain back. Also, what you need to do, and I've been telling more clients, is you need to imagine that, in this case, the 205 is a painful weight. Because at one time, 205, or whatever number it is, was painful. So in this case, this person wants to be 180, but they're 230 right now. But when they went from 180 to 205, they hated 205. They wanted to get back to 180. And so if you are there, you've lost 20 whatever pounds or however many pounds, and it's just been plateauing or it's starting to trickle back up, you got to put yourself into pain. Because at one point, you didn't like this weight that you are right now. At one point. And so you have to put yourself into that pain mindset, or else you're just gonna watch it go back up. You don't want to be the person that struggles back and forth with the same weight range just because you get complacent with it. Hit that long-term goal. Hit the ultimate reset. If you hit the ultimate reset, it's going to be way harder to hit your all-time high. You got to last a little bit longer, and you got to figure out a way to, when you do get this rush of positive and compliments from other people, how you can just take it with a grain of salt, like, hey, thank you, and I'm going to keep trucking. And not let some of those old habits keep you from getting to that ultimate goal. Because, and why I want you to get to the ultimate goal is because just losing like half of the weight you want is fun and good and positive, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not that big of a deal. When I see people get back to their ultimate long-term goal. I haven't weighed this since college, they'll tell me. I haven't weighed this since high school. They can be a new person forever. They really can. And it's because of everything they had to overcome to get there. They had to overcome weight loss plateaus. They had to overcome work stress, kid stress, somebody died in the family. They overcame all these hard hurdles. And then also, they overcame this comfort, the complacency, and they were able to see it in their brain like, oh gosh, I'm too happy with my halfway weight loss. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna force it down, and I'm gonna get back to these great habits. And so they overcame so much that they're a lot stronger. They're like, wow, I overcame everything, even complacency, even being comfortable. And then they can be changed forever once they hit that ultimate reset button. So this is important. Listen to this one over again if this is you. And you still want to continue on with your ultimate goal. You're halfway there or whatever. And it's not as easy. It's not, the weight loss is not as rapid, or you are this person that yo-yos. Because this right here this podcast, if you take it to heart, could change you. Let's hit that ultimate reset. Thanks for tuning in.